Looking at Zagat, your fact-checking, your signature dishing, you have your illustrious acting career in the rearview mirror. Where are you at, and what brings you back?
See, I would say my illustrious acting career was ahead of me at that point, because what was behind me was not my choice, right? But like in front of me was living in New York, going to see Broadway shows all the time, standing in the TKTS line and getting to see Broadway. And that was when it really started, kind of the Jiminy Cricket on my shoulder saying, you should try this again.
Oh my.
Yeah.
But was that the only voice that told you to go back to acting?
So for about a month, I was getting these signs from just,
the universe?
Jung would call it synchronicity, and yeah, I met Roberta Flack at a nail salon, and just wacky. And I met her, and she asked what I was doing. I said, I'm done with show business. And she looked at me like I had 7 heads, and she was like, why would you not? So it just stuck with me. And then like the straw that broke the camel's back was I was on a lunch break crying, because you cry on a lunch break when you're sad and in your 20s sometimes. And I'm walking towards Madison Avenue to get a burger, and there was a psychic who was always like handing out her pamphlets on 53rd and Madison, and she was, I have a question for you, and I'm like, yeah, that's what you say. That's what you say to advertise. And she followed me, and she poked on my shoulder. I turn around, a mess, and she's like, I have a question. And I'm like, what? She says, are you the girl from My Girl? I'm like, yes. And, great psychic. And so then, but then she said, you're not done. You still want to do this. And then I was like, it was $40 for a 10-minute palm reading. On my lunch break, on an editorial assistant salary, $40 on a lunch break really meant a lot to me. But I did. I got my palm read, but really the message was, you need to try this again. You aren't done. You're wondering if you need to try, and so that stuck with me. Yeah.
And you saw this psychic. There's a pack of tarot cards here. How did this come about? You read tarot cards?
I do. This is years later now. This is 20 years later. How do I start? I first saw my first deck of tarot. I think my dad brought it into the house because he was exploring our Roma heritage, where that's our heritage, which is always very connected with psychics and tarot and dancing bears and whatever, and we have that in our heritage too. And then I didn't look at it for a long time, and then I was in a play in 2018 at Second Stage with an actor named Stephen Park who reads tarot. And so we got used to every day just pulling a card. And once that show was over and he was no longer in my life every day with his cards, I missed it, and I learned.